Okay, Amakhosi Network, welcome to the channel. So, Kaizer Chiefs draws with Chippa United 0-0. Our slow journey to outside of the top 8, or outside of the relegation zone continues. We luckily for us, Cape Town City lost their game. So at the very least, at least the bottom of the log teams are still losing, because if those teams start winning, it becomes a problem for Chiefs, because we cannot win in the league. Nabi cannot win in the league. But yeah, when you talk to other Kaizer Chiefs supporters about how bad Nabi is in the league, they think that you are attacking Nabi. And then it's like, no, these are facts. This guy's performance in the league sucks. But because you guys want to, like, what can I say, sugarcoat the situation, you go and yeah. But anyway, before we get into that, please like, comment, and subscribe. A lot of you are going to come and say, yeah, but we don't have quality players. Yes, we don't have quality players. And I've always said we don't have quality players of Sundowns and Pirates level, and some may even argue Stellenbosch. But the one thing is for sure, this is the one thing that's for sure, the Kaizer Chiefs squad right now should not be basically in the relegation zone. What do I mean relegation zone? I mean that we are 7 points away from the last team on the log. We are 7 points away from the last team on the log, meaning that with these teams that have about 5 games left, some even 7 games left, if those bottom of the half teams just have to win like 4 games in a row and stuff, and these include big victories, yes, but if they have to somehow figure out ways of winning these last 4 games, we get pulled in to that mess of the playoffs and possibly relegation, whatever it is, we get pulled into it. But let me chat about the game. The game is when Nabi put his starting lineup out and he put Morris in the starting lineup. I said, at the back of my mind, I was like, okay, what is Nabi's plan here? When you start Morris and Duba, as good as he is, he's not a creative. I want Duba in the box. I want him to find scraps in the box. I want Duba by the pole, which is what we saw in the second half. But the thing is that in the second half, now Duba is gassed. Duba is tired. So now Duba is no longer getting those easy chances. Because one thing I can tell you for sure, Morris in the first half was non-existent. Meaning that Nabi put Morris in the starting lineup, and I don't know what was the reason, but yeah, that was Nabi's tactic. Nabi and people will say they supported, but when I saw Morris in the starting lineup, I was like, I don't get why this guy is here, because we can't have Duba playing as a winger. When we see what he does in the center forward position, he is our best chance at getting a goal. So if he's our best chance at getting a goal, why don't we put him in a position where he can get the most chances to get that goal? But no, Tina achieves the player who has the best chance of getting a goal. We want him to be like, play almost like a winger. And yeah, I don't know. Look, I'm not here to say, I'm not an anti-Nabi person. I'm not a pro-Nabi person. I am for Chiefs. And when I'm for Chiefs, I'm not saying Nabi must be fired. I don't want Nabi to get fired. I want him to get his players. And if he fails with his players, that's when I say he can get fired. But at the same time, I am not going to sit here and accept the kind of play we're playing. And yes, Modi missed an easy chance to score. Abosirino, Nwabali was going out the post. Abosirino for failing to connect. Modi actually today was... Modi, you know, if we have to be honest, Modi as a player this season, he should have won Chiefs close to 8 games. One man. He should have won Chiefs close to 8 games, or maybe some will even argue 10 games in the league, based on the chances this guy has. The guy has a lot of chances, but for a 30-year-old, I don't know what goes through this guy's head. But yeah, so yeah, I know. First half, I think we played well. We played decent. Let me say it wasn't great, but it was, yeah. You know, I want to analyze this game, but I want to give an overall view of my view of this game. My overall view of this game is that we as Kaizer Chiefs deserve to be where we are right now on the log. We deserve it. We deserve it. Not because I don't like my Chiefs and stuff, but the way we play, we deserve to be there. The reason I'm saying this, before the game, if you guys watch my pre-game basically predictions of the game, I said this. I said, guys, when you play Sundowns, it's easy to beat Sundowns when your full job is to defend. And then you're going to just catch them on their mistakes. But when you are forced to play, you see players get exposed. I'm not saying Matt was bad today, but by back passes. Matt was hitting his back passes. When we were meant to advance the ball forward, the ball was going backwards. And in these moments, I'm like, you see, this is my problem here. Guti, Thabo Qele can't be great every game. And this game for him was a slow game. Did he do bad? No, but it was a slow game. So you wanted to feel him and see him more in the game, but you couldn't. You couldn't see and feel him more in the game, but the person who was more visible was Matt. But then Matt had good moments, and then Matt had bad moments with his back passes. But anyway, this was a dull game to watch. It was not great, not a great display of football. This game was basically the kind of game you expect to see from teams that are fighting relegation, mid-table teams. This is not teams that are at the top. Quality, not at the top. Lilepo gets the ball, and I don't know what he does. Modi gets the ball in the box. I don't know what he does. And then Duba is always like an inch away from being in the best position to score. Like like no one could just locate him to give him a chance to take a nice, decent shot at goal. It's like he's always one moment away. Morris missing free headers in the box. And then Edmilson Dover making a lot of mistakes at the back. Guinica actually had a good game, so I have to give him that. Solomon's making mistakes. Cross actually had a very decent game based on his standards. But apart from that, it was one of these games where you look at it and you don't know what to say about this game. Like I'm trying to find positives. I'm trying to say this person played well. I'm doing my best, but nothing worked. The tactics just didn't look like they were working. Funny enough, it felt like Chippa's tactics were working better because Chippa was getting more chances that could result in goals, but they also lack quality players like Chiefs. So like for example, defensively we were exposed by these long balls that keep getting hit. And I don't know. I need to sit down with this game again and re-look at it and see what was happening because things were looking positive. It didn't feel like we are going to concede except for some point in the second half where Chippa was really on the was really hitting long balls. It always felt like we were going to score at some point. Like that's why I watched till the last minute because something in my mind said we're going to score. But another question I have for myself is, why is it that our best players can't last 90 minutes? Yes, I understand Serino had a yellow card, so maybe you don't want him to get a red card in case he makes a lazy tackle. But like a Duba can't survive 90 minutes. Thabo Qele can't survive 90 minutes. Like our players, it's like we just don't have players who survive 90 minutes. Modi actually made it to 90 minutes, but he's the player you don't want to be that player that survives. Like you want Serino on the field, want Duba on the field. These are the players you want on the field. And another question I wanted to know is, where is Mfundo Villagas? Have they released him for the under-20s? I don't know, but where is the boy? Because this was the perfect game since Lilepo was being dropped. This was the perfect game for Mfundo Villagas. So I hope he doesn't have an injury. But when I saw that Lilepo is on the bench, my expectation was to at least see Mfundo Villagas. But not seeing him, it wasn't great. But a part of me wishes Nabi started the game with Dupree on the right wing and then Duba as the striker. Because if he decided to rest Lilepo. Because putting Morris in the game, for me, it was just that. Putting Morris in the game, for me, I asked the question, how are we going to score with Morris there? Because Morris is going to plug the center half position. I don't know if they wanted to use Morris to distract Abo Justice Shabalala, but in my book, Abo Justice Shabalala, these guys are not the greatest of players. It's just that if you're not creating chances, you won't really find a way to expose them. But yeah, that is my analysis of the game, as poor as this analysis was. Because now I agree. Today, I don't even know what I was analyzing, because what were we watching? Like what were we watching? It just was not coming together. It was a difficult game to watch. Amakhosi.